Guys, so just real quick, the last thing I want to do with you before we go on break / production to get all of our walls adjusted is to show you the other assembly. It's pretty simple. We're basically going to take the other plaster assembly and we're going to modify it so that that exterior plaster layer is lap siding instead. Okay, so it's in section, it's not going to appear like the lap siding until we made it a little bit smarter, but for our simple model, it'll work fine. So let's take the wall we just modified because the structure is basically the same. It just has a different exterior layer. And we're going to duplicate that. So you go to Edit Type. We're going to say Duplicate. And we're going to call this Exterior Wood Stud Lap Siding. And for those of you who have done this a few times, which by now is all of you, you kind of know what to do. You can edit this. And the thing I guess I want to just very briefly mention is like vapor barriers and stuff like that. There is a function for the vapor barrier, which is this little line underneath, right? Building paper over self-adhered waterproofing membrane, or I should say weather barriers. But the thing about that is like especially in a schematic design set, you don't have to model it. In fact, the layer, if you were to make one, which would look something like this, it has a thermal air layer which doesn't need any thickness. It doesn't appear in your drawing or section if you model it that way. So I'd say just kind of ignore that for now for the schematic design set, and then when you get into a smarter building and doing actual BIM functions, you might need that for like cost estimation sets and stuff like that. That part would be essential. So I'm gonna delete that, and we're just gonna use this exterior element, and we're gonna create a lap siding material. And I don't know if this is the file we made it in before, so I guess not. Let's try siding. No? Okay. Let's just create a brand new material. I'm going to go down here, say create material, rename it, lap siding. Simple enough, right? And then remember, we've done this before, so this is recap, so I'm moving a little bit faster. The surface pattern is what's going to define what that lap siding looks like when we look at it in elevation. So I'm going to open up my surface patterns, and another recap for you guys. There are drafting patterns and there are model patterns. You guys recall that, right? Yeah. So the drafting patterns, the scale of those patterns is going to be relative to the page you put it on, and the model patterns are going to be relative to the scale of the model. So when I switch it over to model patterns, I have a 6-inch parallel line. I hit OK, and when I hit OK on that, and then hit OK again, and then hit OK again, I can look at this in elevation, and there's that lap siding. Clear enough?
So when you did want to change, why didn't you want to leave that what it originally was?
Well, it doesn't matter right now. I haven't verified what the wall is in the model. Let's check it real fast. All I was doing was just creating my material types, so it wasn't mission critical to have it stay what it was. There it is. Oh, okay, so it is lap siding, that wall. Yeah. So basically, guys, like, you can swap walls all you want. So if you're sitting there making 4 or 5 different wall types, it doesn't matter. Just use the same wall, keep modifying them, and then when you're done, switch it back to the wall it needs to be. That's the beauty of BIM.
Can you go back to the edit assembly?
Yes, I will show you the edit assembly. So there we go, there. All right. Any other questions before I close this video?
Yeah, Kevin.
All right.
No, Kevin.